to look into for designing teaching materials by Carmen Juliet Munoz Giron. What should English language learning ELT materials have? In order to choose the materials for learning the English language, it is essential to know in-depth students, their strengths, their abilities, their weakness, their way of learning, and their needs, in order to have a positive and remarkable effect on the teaching learning process of the students. The study materials should be interesting and eye-catching to attract the curiosity, interest, and attention of the children. This can be unusual and current topics, various texts, news of interest, image, colors, and challenges that challenge the student to think and be creative. It should provide a comfortable, quiet, free of tensions. Also, text should be little loaded. With illustrations, you should make use of examples and anecdotes to have an approach with students. It is important to use materials and activities that motivate students with stimulating tasks where problems arise and leads students to use their creativity, imagination, and analysis. Teachers should make students aware that the content they are taught is very useful and potential. This can be achieved by knowing the expectation and purpose of the students, preparing interesting tasks, and challenging activities. It is important to use materials and activities that motivate students with stimulating tasks where problems arise and lead students to use their activity, imagination, and analysis. In addition, the materials and study activities have the function of helping the students to make use of different resources and thus can self-discovery and control over the topics that are being studied. Finally, a student must have a constant motivation and confrontation with the language they are learning and frequently feedback their performance in the use of language. Proposal for principal approach to the development of ELT materials. Students can be benefit from noticing the outstanding characteristic of the contributions. Learn before comprehend and intuit before exploring using an experimental approach where students engage holistically and they learn implicitly. Later, they revisit and reflect paying conscientious attention to features in order to explicitly learn. The materials not only should stimulate the intellectual part of the students, they should also stimulate the emotions and get to capture all the interest. It should be noted that the emotional parts of the students is extremely important because if students are motivated, they are effective in learning in their learning. For this, it's necessary to implement teaching materials that motivate students, participate, and be active in their learning process. Students must be constantly exposed to collect and experience their previous knowledge, to solve problems and tasks to build their own learning. Students build their own knowledge based on their previous knowledge through different materials and activities that stimulates them to study, analyze, and understand the information they are receiving and their relationship with their previous knowledge and build many knowledge. It is necessary that students are exposed to a rich, meaningful, and understandable input of the use of the language. Increase the use of spoken and written text, audios, videos, images that provide the use of language from a variety of types of text and genres related to different topics, events, locations, aimed at students. To maximize learning exposure to language in the use, they need to be engaged both affectively and knowledgeably in the language experience. Thinking while experiencing language helps deeper processing for effective durable learning plus higher levels skills, predicting, connecting, interpreting, and evaluating second language use. In order to make each of the above items possible, it is necessary to identify the needs of the students, since the materials must have real, authentic use and not only remain in theory. It must also take into account the specific context for which they are intended, the materials, the individual and collective interests that are sought. Also take advantage of students' knowledge about technology to take advantage of the multiple benefits it can provide through innovative and attractive materials and tools to students. Tomlinson explains that the materials can be informative. They inform the students about the target language. Instructive. They guide the students in the practice of the language. Experiential. They offer the students opportunities to explore instances of language in use and to use the language in a significant way. And exploratory. Help the students to make discoveries about the language. Tomlinson, 2012, page 143. In conclusion, I can see that materials are of great importance to provide students with quality learning useful for their personal and professional development, as long as these materials are adapted to the needs of students. Be productive, attractive, interesting, innovative, constructive, and help to empower student skills. Leaving the monotony and involving technology and the direct advantage that technological advance provide us. Thank you.